Hi, this is Jim the Keys bartender. It's episode 99 coming to you from the Blackwater Siren. I'm here with Bill Wissinger.
Hey, how y'all doing?
It's like I said, we're at the Blackwater Siren. I'd be remiss not to mention it's happy hour. They got a great happy hour. They always have the
happy hour on Budweiser.
Yep. What's the deal?
$2 Bud Light, Bud bottles. $2.
That's good anywhere. That is a great deal anywhere. And during the happy hour they have peel and eat shrimp, chili cheese nachos, CB sliders, buffalo chicken sliders, wings, fish dip, and Friday through Friday, Saturday got a
fish
prime
dip's
rib.
Good. I like the fish dip here.
And then I think today is meatloaf day.
Meatloaf.
Yep,
Ooh.
Chef Lolo's meatloaf. Can't beat it. It's a good time. People start filing in right now. And we're going to talk about Blackwater Siren. I'm going to post some pictures on our cover of this episode of some friends that are here today. And this episode is called Closing Time. I'm sending out time for all something.
Yeah, no, that's the only words I know off.
Gather your whiskey and beer.
The only thing I know is closing time.
But
we'll
talk about that a little later.
I don't even know who sang it. Yeah. Probably Nickelback.
That's my go-to thing. I had to guess. It's Nickelback or the guy who has the MRZ or whatever. Whatever his last name is. Well, Bill, I told you, and for what? Cherie. Oh shit! Now you tell me what. No, I'm not. It's not her. It's not her.
Nope.
No, she's not a bartender. This person I did is not a bartender, but they're a server. And you know what? They're similar people. I'm talking out of context. I'm so sorry, listeners.
We're trying to figure out
I will
girl
be talking.
who works.
I will be talking about a violation of one of my customers on Saturday. It'll be tomorrow. I'll save it for tomorrow.
There we go.
But George, one of my regular customers, got violated by a woman. Not in the way you think, but I instigated it. It was my fault. It was, and I have to.
George would have enjoyed that.
I'm going to have to buy him so many freaking beers. Oh no, he wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't violated that way. But we'll talk about that story tomorrow on our 100th episode. But I was mentioning to Bill that for a year, ever since about 3 or 4 months after the show got started, I kept on trying to get the show on more and more services to get it out there. And I use Spotify for my spin class when I teach at the Wellness Center.
There you go.
And they started offering podcasts. And I was looking so hard, high and low. I'm looking at different listing services. I'm looking for technical people.
Everywhere.
How to send an RSS feed. I didn't know what that meant before.
Me.
What?
You should have asked me.
What?
You should have asked me.
Well, I had people working on it and stuff like that. It was impossible at that time without getting on another listing service that supplied to Spotify. And they weren't accepting. And I think I actually even submitted the feed manually, meaning I sent an email or to them, and it got rejected.
They want it automated where it just goes beep, 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 beep.
So recently, our podcasting service put a little blurb in there and said, now we are going directly into Spotify as an option.
Oh, cool.
And it's in my plan. So, but you have to opt for it. And I look into settings where they say Facebook, SoundCloud, all these things, iHeartRadio. I'm looking for it. I spent like 2 hours, and then I sent an email to their help center.
Support.
And as soon as I get out of the help center, send an email, I look, and it has its own line. Besides settings, it said Spotify. And I highlighted Spotify, and there's a green button.
There we are.
A green button, submit. And it says this could take a couple hours to get approved. And then it said, came back like in 2 minutes, it's approved. Like before I even shut down my computer. But then it said this could take a couple hours to a day or two to get your content up.
Yep.
And then just on the top of my head, I went like 10 minutes later.
There it was.
There's every episode on Spotify.
There you go.
And the weird thing about it, within a couple hours,
all the old stuff started to auto-populate.
No, it's all there.
Yeah.
It was all there.
That's actually what I said.
I mean, it had a huge. it was a huge. I don't know what the kind of servers they got going. It must be like those instant traders one they use on the stock market. It was so fast, but within 3 hours though, there were 50 downloads from the United Kingdom, which I've never really pushed a lot. I've had a couple in the United Kingdom. I have some friends there, but that's kind of crazy. I
got
think
all my buddies up in Aberdeen tuning in.
Yeah. Yep. And this was actually England. Hello, young man.
Bunch of
Young
drunk
man
Scots.
came up. He has a balloon. Is that balloon for me?
It's a happy birthday balloon.
Birthday. Is it your birthday? Yeah. How old are you? Are you 4? 3?
5.
How old are you?
He's not sure.
Tell me how many fingers.
Well, that joins the club. There's a whole bunch of us
3,
here that
4?
aren't sure how old we are.
This young man's talking to me. You know what? This is even more of a more coherent a conversation I have with people after 11 o'clock on a Saturday night. Yes,
come on,
you
we
are
weren't that,
even more understandable.
The Key Billies
And
weren't that
you're
bad.
much better looking. This is Jessica's son.
The Key Billies weren't that bad Friday night.
Nope,
We
not
were
at all.
actually fairly sober.
Oh, I
for
wasn't
Key-Billies.
meaning you guys.
No, I'm talking about us.
You
we
guys
were
are
actually
fine.
we were actually fairly sober for Key
Yeah,
Billies.
I wouldn't do that. Hey, listen, I don't trash talk my friends when they come in and stuff like that. You guys are fine.
Dude, are
Had
you
a good
kidding?
time.
That's,
And this
that's
is a
the
young
best.
call.
Those are the
You
best
gonna-
people to trash
Am I
talk.
going to get a name or anything from you? Okay, this young man came up and gave me a birthday balloon. Okay, you got. Oh, there you go.
I think
Maybe
you're supposed
someday you learn about helium.
I
So
think you're supposed to give it a. I think you're supposed to give it a bet. I think
I'm
that's the
supposed
whole.
to give it a bat. Is that like a beach ball? So you get.
Yeah, I think the whole
Foil
purpose of
birthday
this
balloon.
was.
Put it up? No.
Here you go. You want me to give it a pop? There you go.
Don't break it.
There you go. Get it.
There we go.
There.
Wow. Oh, there we
That's
go.
what we're looking at.
Woo. Okay. Well, that really works for the radio or podcast, doesn't it?
Yeah, we're playing balloon bounce
Okay.
with a
and-
young man.
Okay,
Having a good time.
And there's one other thing I have to talk about. Last week, when I wasn't in, I received a box, parcel at the catch
A parcel.
addressed to me.
There you go.
And I said,
Have
"What's
body parts in
Where's
it?
it from?" Yeah, no, I've gotten the show's gotten different things. I got to talk to the sales rep. It's for I got a thing of dried scorpions and mezcal worms, and
There we
they
go.
glow in the dark when you put them in a drink and stuff like that.
Well, they glow in the dark when you don't put them in the drink too.
I thought you need to have the black light on it.
Oh yeah.
Okay, the black light. So, and we're going to talk about it, but I want to make sure I do it the right way, talking to them. And then I've gotten liquor and small samples, but, no real follow-up because we're just starting out. Well, I got this parcel. I didn't know where it was from. It didn't say. It had an innocuous name, and I've gotten a package like that before. And it said it was in an envelope. I got it in my mail, and it said something JDF jewelry. And I'm like, and it was
Okay.
addressed to me, and I said, I didn't order jewelry. Why the hell would anybody send me jewelry? And I open it away from my body for some reason in front of my house, and a whole bunch of, since the young man here, I won't say, a whole bunch of glitter falls out.
There you go.
It was a glitter bomb. And it's supposed to be when you open it, it's supposed to pop open.
Right.
When you open the card acts as a catapult to throw the glitter up in the air and throws it in your face. And glitter, how glitter's like little tiny pieces of foil, just
Yep.
sticks to you like crazy. And I'd probably still have
You probably still have
remainder
glitter.
today, and this was a year ago. So I thought this was another one like that.
Yep.
So I finally got it. They had it at work, and they gave it to me. And I opened it up, and it's a little wine barrel with a bunch of bartending tools in it. And it has 100th. It has number 100
I
on
saw
it.
that.
Oh, you saw it posted?
I saw the post on that.
LASTASG. And I'm like thinking it's a Nancy Drew or Hardy Boys mystery.
There you go.
I'm trying to figure out what it is. And so one of the people that sent it to me said, life is seen through a shot glass. And I go, oh.
Oh, that's the
That's
tagline of the show.
our motto of the show, I guess. And someone said, one of the coworkers was saying, "Oh, you were brilliant to figure that out." And I said, I didn't figure it
figure
out.
it out.
And
They
I'm
told
not,
me.
and I'm not brilliant. But I would like to thank the wonderful gift from my friends at McGeehan's Rock Bottom Pub at Cotman and Cottage in
There you
Philadelphia. So that's Pat, John, Kevin, Jim, Heather, Nora, Mark, and we can all remember the beautiful Jessica and the girl Nora and
Yes, and all
and
the
Heather
other
are
beautiful girls
beautiful.
that work there.
Yeah, Jessica's a picture on episode 97.
I think it's
And
97.
if you'd like to see her up close and personal, go to Cotman and Cottage in Northeast Philadelphia, the McGeehan's Rock Bottom.
There you go.
A friendly, fun place. It's been around for, almost 90 years
Damn.
in their family. Maybe more. I guess I will be getting a bunch of emails if I stated incorrectly. But
If
I
you
know
mess that one up,
I
they'll
know
be-
it was,
they'll-
I
they'll be
know
the
it was
first
around
ones to
during
correct you.
Prohibition because it was like a candy/soda store. And I don't know if they served anything else during that time. That's up to them to admit
Probably
it.
everybody did.
That's up. I know, but that's up to them to admit it. I don't. I think the statute of limitations are off on that since they.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So, I put it to the listeners in a question today on our Facebook page, Instagram, and Tumblr. All those
things.
silly shit social things, but I mean, and I put it to them, pick a topic, no
saw
matter
that.
how bizarre or inane, and we will discuss it. And I got a real weird one, which we're going to do.
Speaking of that, I got to talk to one certain individual about her.
Let's hear it.
I guess.
Oh, you got a brain fart going on?
Yeah, I do. I'm trying to phrase this nicely.
Oh, okay.
About her preoccupation with sex toys and sex robots.
Oh, yeah, that sex rope. That was Heather?
I'm not sure who that was. I'd
that
have
wasn't
to look
Heather.
it up.
I
But,
mean, put it right here. We do have that. We're going to. Oh, Christ.
yeah,
we're
we're going
gonna
to have a little chat about her preoccupation with those.
Oh, it's Kelly.
I know.
It was Kelly. It was Kelly
names.
because we talked about it. They actually Japan. We had it on one of our episodes.
We had that. Yeah.
Episodes. You know what? Kelly, the bartender extraordinaire here. Jim's here right now. Kelly's going to be in a little later.
Yeah, otherwise
Kelly's
she's getting,
besides a bartender, she's an accomplished painter, and she submitted the sex dolls. And
Was it sex dolls or sex toys? I thought it was sex toys.
I think she said sex dolls and sex toys.
Okay.
Sex dolls plus.
Well, yeah.
I
okay.
mean, but we were talking about robots.
Yeah, we were talking
And there's
about
more
robots.
sex robots, what would they call them?
I don't fucking know.
No, it's called something.
Fembots?
The technical term would be called when. Oh my God! What a bitch! What you get?
That's what the technical term should be called. Oh,
Oh, really?
hell no.
You
Dude.
got a sexy-looking, female-looking robot
Oh, hell no.
with a great robot boobies and butt,
No, hell no.
and are you kidding me?
No, fuck no.
I mean, is it?
I'm going for a little bit of audience participation here. Come on.
You're getting all freaked out by it.
No, I'm
the
not freaked
conversation?
out. I'm just like, I mean, I've actually had women in the past who probably could have passed for one of those.
Well, they do. There's some of them. There's a woman that
Stayed there.
there's a woman that had herself modified to look like Barbie
Yeah, that's a
with
little
the
weird
tiny
too.
waist and her face and stuff like that. So, and then you got cat women, cat men, the people that try to make themselves look like demons. I mean, really
Yeah, there you
cosmetically
go.
altered to do that. But we're getting,
Far afield.
yeah, but you know, in the future, artificial intelligence. We spoke about this before, and it's a whole field of study right now. And they're building these ever more powerful computers, devices, miniaturation of circuitry. They're able to pack more and more into smaller spaces. The new phones coming out, they call it they're going on a nano thing. I think it's 7nm. I think it's 7 nano bytes.
They've been doing the nanometer lithography on the chips for a while now.
Yeah. So whenever it gets up to whenever they're able to create consciousness and it's able to pass the Turing test, we're going to have that. Oh, Someone's taking a phone call right now, but we're going to go on. I'm going to talk to Jenna then. Jenna, my friend, who's she's going to be on the show tomorrow, but she's a finance manager for a recreational vehicle establishment. And I don't know if she says that we were talking about topics, and she mentioned closing time as a topic, how people come in 5 minutes before closing to do their shopping. And, and it's a pretty big ticket item you're talking about at her place of business. So that's the kind of place. I was talking about Jenna from Riva mentioned, I'm going to mention it because we're going to talk about it tomorrow. She said people that come in 5 minutes before to shop big ticket
do that
items.
all the time.
Yeah, big ticket items. But I remember in car sales, when someone comes in at late at night, they're a high participation, high percentage sale.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
because they're serious. When they're walking in late, I don't know how late they're open to, but if you get somebody late at night, they're seriously considering it, and they don't want to run. They want to get someone's unbridled attention. So, when closing time comes, I can imagine how irritating that could be. We're going to talk first. We'll talk about bands and about the how that happens. So we got bands that come in. I've known them for a long time, friends and bands in weddings and bars. You have people there, and they're not done partying, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, but a band is paid to play a certain amount of time.
Now, a lot of times in our contracts, we rate on extension fees. If you want an extra hour, it's X amount of dollars and da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if you're at a bar and it closes at 10,
yep,
and everybody else wants to go home, it closes at 10. Doesn't matter how much money you throw in there. If you get the owner to do it, yes, okay, we'll do a little bit, but no.
Well, like at the Catch, we got people there. We're open. That's the way it is.
Yeah.
But perfectly understandable. If you want the band to play, and this is me, I'm going to tell you.
You
So
need
I'm
to put money
going to
in
tell
the
you,
bucket.
listeners out there, you're going to have to pay the band, and you have to pay them the replacement for what the extension fee is. So if it's a $50 a half hour or $100 a half hour pay, come up with the cash. If you want a song, maybe $20 a song.
Yeah, and, a lot of it depends on how many drinks you bought the band and whether you've already filled
there's
up
that
the chip
too.
bucket and that.
And whether
If you've been a great audience and you bought us a ton of
imagine
drinks,
when you were single, there was other things they could offer you that would be.
That's.
You know what I mean? I'm not saying. Listen, you're not. If you were single,
that's
if some
actually-
hot woman offered you some promise,
Yeah, no, that's always.
what?
You never want to actually disappoint your audience.
Yes.
You
You're
never
right.
really want to disappoint your audience. We'll get to that when we
Is
got
the veil
Luke around,
comment?
too.
Oh, you mean because all the whiskey you drank?
Yeah, a lot of times.
Oh, okay, I get it. I don't want to go on that part.
A lot of times it's like, hey, yeah, you're pretty sexy, but no. Not unless you got a popsicle stick and a roll of duct tape. It's not going to work.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting there. For me, from the restaurant point of view, the restaurant we're at kind of organically closed. When I say organically closes, people are leaving at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, they got
Some
to hit
people
one of the
come
late
in
night
and
places.
hang out. They want to have a couple drinks and stuff like that. That's fine. But I've had a couple times where guys come in and they're just having a little talk. 3 guys sitting there talking business, and they're drinking a beer every half hour. That is not suitable for keeping 4 people there. That is not. That
Come
will
on,
not.
guys. We're
That will
needing-
not keep your bar open.
We're needing rounds of double calls.
Yeah, at 10 o'clock. At 10 o'clock, yes, we'll give you a grace period at 10:30 or 11 o'clock to we're done all our work.
You make
But
it worth our time. we'll make it worth your time.
11:15, you order 2 rounds of domestic beer. That just won't keep the bar open.
Yeah, that's not going to fly.
Yeah. And you got to throw some, what's the word, gelt up.
Yeah, guilt, cash.
Yeah. Just, do something for
Jimmy.
them. And I guess with in the sales thing, when someone's shopping and stuff like that, at the end of the day, especially when it's a double. But what really matters to me is actually if they're decent, respectful people at the end and they're fun. Sometimes I may want to hang out with them. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, don't be the drunk asshole screaming free bird.
if you're not the least bit entertaining, or you think, some people think they're more entertaining than they are. That could be me. Obviously, there's people that think I'm not the least bit entertaining, and I understand that. You're not all things to all people, but there's some people that are always asshole. They're asshole to everyone.
There you go.
Even the assholes. When you have an asshole call an asshole out, you go, wow. That is that the underwriter's laboratory. That is right there. There's certain people I know, and they go and say, that person over there is an asshole. And I go, well, you must know because you are a huge asshole.
They have definitely hit the radar hard.
Yeah. There's because I get midday, if you and I don't get a lot of them. Luckily, assholes have to move around. They do because people get tired of their shit, and they get tired of their shit at closing time. So if you're a member of that tribe, and that tribe crosses all demographics, all different colors and creeds, young and old, if you are that asshole, you know what? Just go someplace else. And you got to be drowned in a bunch of other people so they can't just focus on your innate assholeness.
What is that? 1 out of 3 people are assholes. If you look to the right,
look to the right and left. If you don't see one,
if you don't
it's
see
probably
one, you're the asshole.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to get back because you walked away. I started talking about Jenna's thing while you were away. Okay. We're going back to the sex
toys.
Well,
or sex dolls.
Toys or sex dolls, and that's been done. Guys. The old inflatable one. Oh my God! What do you think you're doing? Why is it better just?
Dude, that was the best.
Inflatable a lotion?
Inflatable sheep were the best gag gift ever.
Oh, gag gift, I know. But did people actually use
probably
an inflatable? And now they make the, for thousands of dollars, they make the, there's a movie called, do you ever see that movie, Lars and the Real Girl?
No.
It's Ryan Gosling.
Still no.
And to paraphrase his movie, to give a short description, it's guy, he's a loner. He lives with his brother and his brother's wife. They have a kid and one coming on his way, and they recently lost their parents. And he's really depressed. And he starts shutting down, and they're getting concerned about it. He's living in a converted barn behind their house.
Okay.
And one day he gets a delivery in this large box. And it's this girl, Bianca. I think the girl's name was Bianca, supposedly Brazilian. And he starts treating her like a real girl. Introduces her to her family, starts taking her around town, out on the night. And everyone's treated as super weird in the beginning. But then the whole town started accepting her. And there were a couple people, there was people that did accept it. Her brother had a hard time doing it. He was just freaking out about it. And they really helped him. And then when, I don't want to give it away, but if you get a chance to see the movie, it just, in this case, it wasn't as creepy as.
Not as freaky as it seems.
Sex, when someone just has it as someone like they're just slamming all the time. And you got to think how you wash them and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And they're doing,
No, you don't have to think about that.
You do got to think about it.
No, you don't. You can think about
clean,
it.
Whatever.
I'll sit over here happy in my ignorance.
I know. They dress them up. They dress them up in their clothes. Guys, and there's a couple guys that have a bunch of different dolls. They have a harem.
Yeah, okay.
Real dolls.
I will sit over here and treasure my ignorance.
And then they start making them animatronic. Animatronic is when they use small motors to move their hips around and things like that. How much time we got here?
Oh, we got plenty.
Okay. So they started making more like animating a mannequin or a robot has gone a long ways. It's gone pretty much step in step with the bionic, the myoelectric thing where people are making people can make an attachment and they have legs and hands and they're attaching it to their nerve endings,
Yep.
and they're getting actually getting feeling out of it. Some people are getting feeling. I mean, they're going to be able to replace even eyes.
Yeah.
So once you start that creating that extension to a non-human, and we had this discussion before, if artificial intelligence makes that leap where it becomes aware of what it is, does that, I mean, once you can reason with someone and talk to them, and or a thing,
Yeah, then it's
can
not
they
a
be
thing anymore.
if a corporation by the Supreme Court was decided to be a person, I forget the ruling, because they were giving free speech and money could be treated as speech, and I forget the name of the case. Wouldn't you have to apply that to a non-human person then? Personhood.
Yeah. Once it passes
Once it's
the Turing
sentient,
test,
and it's
there.
on, and it's able not to just to be on its own.
Yeah.
So, with the advent of self-driving vehicles and stuff, that's the computing power to go with that, and obviously planes pretty much fly themselves nowadays. They virtually don't. Right before we got on air, there's a plane that took off from New York. It blew out 2 tires, a private jet. And it was flying over to Europe, and I guess they were spending time setting up where they're going to go to land.
Well,
but
you got. If you have something like that, if you have a problem on takeoff, you got to burn off a bunch of fuel before you can land.
So we'll find out later. They just said that. But I mean, imagine a private jet has computers too, like that do it just like eventually. I mean, a pilot is. I have a lot of friends down here. We have so many. There's probably could be a pilot right here, right now. You never know. That the pilot is purely almost an afterthought.
Yeah, they're the final arbitrator of the decision.
Yeah. With something were to
Sometimes.
happen and things like that, they're tell them that there's turbulence and stuff like that.
Well,
But
I've talked to a couple pilots that do that are at the point where they're older and they're getting ready to retire, and they're very happy to retire because they no longer fly anymore. They just do system management.
yeah, it's pretty much like working at a power station.
Yeah, they just do system management.
Yeah.
I had you know him too.
Dougie.
No, different one, but we had a good conversation about that because we were talking about doing stick and rudder stuff and just flying around in the Cub, and he's like, "Yeah, that's great. That's the best thing ever."
Yep.
And once you get into more complex aircraft, now they've automated so much, it's basically system management.
Yeah, so when you hear people being drone pilots and things like that, I mean, I guess they give the initial, when someone's a drone pilot for like the military, I think they're giving the final say, like the turn of the key for launching, so you don't have a fully autonomous vehicle deciding on its own.
Yep.
That looks like the terrorist, and using facial recognition, which that's going to be pretty scary shit in the future with that. I mean, we are on the advent of Terminator stuff, technology, but we were talking about sex dolls.
Sex dolls.
To get back. So, there was a movie last year or 3 years ago called She or Her. It was a Joaquin Phoenix, and it's a software program. It's an AI thing like Siri.
Okay.
But it's fully functional with a personality and a voice and a real sounding human voice, not
Okay.
like using inflection, emotion, and things like that. And
Can she speak Southern?
they got all different types. They can say you can pick a regional dialect and things like that. They had so she at one point in the movie so these people that downloaded this are developing relationships, becoming their best friend, or if it's if they pick on the opposite sex, it becomes their a loved one. And she picked a surrogate. That's what I wanted. A surrogate. She picked a surrogate, a woman. She gave her like a little earphone, and had her. She channeled her, and the woman came to the door, and she's listening to the program tell her what she wants her to say and do, and she wants to hear, and she's experiencing this stuff through it, and she got really upset. And you're thinking of that, the advancement on this technology. I was watching a movie and I said, they're so advanced. They started getting so advanced, the computers, and they stopped wanting to talk to the humans, right? Why wouldn't they just create their own bodies? But they didn't want it. In this thing, they didn't want bodies.
Yep.
They didn't want to be hindered.
Tied to a bag of meat.
Yeah. It was amazing. So that's another interesting view of what artificial intelligence in the future. Why would you want to? I don't want to manifest myself into three-dimensional gravity, even with superpowers and things. If you give me, if I had rockets and super strength and stuff like that, I really don't. I'm free inside this. I would want to create more, storage space to create more situations and be able to do it. So the problems with humans they always think, Stephen Hawking said it, and I think Elon Musk and other people said the danger of artificial intelligence is them deciding that
they don't need
the U.S., that they don't need us, and that we're more damage, that we're more problems than we're worth, and we could destroy the earth, and we could destroy them. They could probably survive without, radiation and stuff like that.
Yeah, you got to do a lot of stuff to red tree.
Actually, the things that's done to the right now, we talked about the Kessler effect. Do you ever hear the Kessler effect?
Yeah, but you'd have to.
I bet it's satellite thing. If a collision in space happens, it's a
okay.
satellite. It's a cascading effect that you put all this debris out there, and so what happens? You close all the launch windows and stuff like that. So artificial intelligence, you need a source of energy. I guess they could always tap into geothermal, and that there's always going to be geothermal energy, right?
You think
until the planet's
until
dead,
the heat death of the
fully
universe.
dead, and then they could. They don't really need humans to continue once they build whatever. But the idea is that they'd want to get rid of them.
Didn't somebody
Like, do we
a
kill
movie about that sometime in the late 80s?
Terminator?
No.
What?
Oh, what was the? I know kung fu.
What?
I know kung fu. Matrix.
That was the 90s.
That was the 90s?
Yeah.
80s, 90s, whatever.
Keanu Reeves, yeah. That was the 90s. That was the late 90s and ended in the 2000s, I think. So, or it could have been all in 2000. But that's when, there's some people say that there's no such thing as reality. We're just projections of information across the surface
there you go.
of a black hole. Speaking of black holes,
get metaphysical there.
I have this story. Some fucking guy, I forget, in this art gallery. They have an art gallery, and they had an abstract picture. Yeah, I have another. Here. Oh, he's checking my beer. So, I'll take one. Okay, well, thank you. This Italian man in this gallery, I think it's in England, I'm not sure, but there is a display of this art piece, the conceptual art piece. Bill, you'll appreciate this. It's a conceptual art piece. It's a white surrounding a black hole, a black dot that's actually a hole. And there's warning signs all around it. Do not approach. Do not do this. Do not do this. And one Italian man decides to approach in, and it is...
He stuck his finger in it.
We fell into it.
Oh.
He fell 10 feet
Big
into
enough
a...
to big
he
enough
fell
fall
into
into.
a hole and got hurt. And this is recently. But it was abstract art of a black hole. It gets the image when you're looking at it, it's just a dot. But it's actually a hole that's painted black, and you look in, it's completely black from the position. You can't see if it's solid black dot or a hole. But the guy goes within the boundaries, gets on it, and falls in the hole and gets hurt.
There you go.
Oh, well, there we go. Reverse evolution occurring.
Stick your finger in it.
Not because he is Italian. It's just that could have been an American for all you know.
That could have been anybody.
Okay, I got a story. This is a great story. Have you heard this one?
I don't know.
Hallandale, Florida mayor regrets sphincter bleaching dig.
What?
Okay, there you go. I got your thing. Mayor Keith London wishes the words sphincter bleaching never left his lips. But they did. And now he says he wants to apologize to Commissioner Annabelle Lima Taube for a snide remark he made Monday about her earning a living off her sphincter bleaching. It's too little, too late for Lima Taube. You know, that's a shitty return, right? No pun intended. What an asshole.
Oh.
Think of all the puns you could say. It's
Yeah,
not a
they're-
real
they're
apology,
coming
she
through
said.
fast.
He's not sorry. He's sorry because the story is getting out. Well, if she's doing this sphincter bleaching, he maybe shouldn't.
Dude,
That's pretty funny.
if you're a
You
sphinx-
got it. If you did that for a living, and
if
you're
a
in
sphincter
politics,
bleacher,
and you don't want
need
someone to
pretty
say,
fucking thick skin.
I know. You got to be ready, okay? On Thursday, London told South Florida Sun-Sentinel he needed to review the meeting. An hour later, he sent an email saying he'd watched the recording and now feels embarrassed and deeply disappointed in himself. I said something stupid, personal, and inappropriate in a moment of anger, he said in an email. My conduct was extremely inappropriate. You still haven't heard what he said. London also tried to apologize during a meeting Wednesday night, but Lima Taube was leaving City Hall and said she didn't want to hear it. London, a friend turned foe, helped Lima Taube run for office 2 years ago. The recent feud erupted about a budget workshop Monday after London referred to the fire union president as simple-minded. Lima Taube fired back. He had no room to talk when he lacks. Oh, look, let's go. When he lacks a college education, I bet she's going to say. I got to go to page 2. But you gotta love that. When it says sphincter on the front page, holy shit. Oh, it's 2B. Woman stuck in Hollywood lawsuit, Scott. Where the hell is it?
I don't know.
Apology. College education. That's what she said. Oh, she's nice looking. Holy crap. There's a video. He works for a living, she told London. You don't. London mocked Lima Taube, asking how she knows where he makes his money. Was it getting my sphincter bleached? He said. Is that where I earn my income from? No, that would be you and your family business. Lima Taube, a real estate agent whose commission term is up in 2020, said her mother owns a med spa that offers anal bleaching products.
There you go.
London was doing. Oh, it wasn't her. London was doing his best to publicly humiliate. Her and deflect from the debate or whether to hire more firefighters or merge another agency. I feel humiliated, and empowered at the same time because the story is making headlines. She has another theory on why London wants to apologize. He's got an election in November, but sphincter bleaching made it into the paper. That is so good.
Look, there's truly nothing. There is no such thing as bad press.
It is. Well,
Really?
I think, you know what? She wasn't the one selling, and the woman sold the.
Yeah.
I guess the mom sold the product, so I guess it may be frequented by strippers.
Who knows?
Who was a? I
Hey,
mean,
she'll probably sell more now.
yeah. Well,
Hey, I was looking to get my sphincter bleached, and I didn't know where to go, but now I know.
oh, okay. Well, Bill, in Hallandale, there's a great place. Go to Anna Marie's Med Spa, and we had
You
the
can get your
finest
sphincter
lines
bleached.
of Dr. Poopy's anal bleaching creams. Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah. Oh, dude, I have told.
I mean, if you're running, I guess if you're running for office and your mom sells anal bleaching cream,
it's probably going to come up at some time.
yeah. If you own a dildo factory, if your uncle owns a dildo factory, you're going to have a hard time running for office.
Oh.
Now, what else?
No,
can
it's
we-
going to be fun, man. I'd put it right out there. I'd put one right on the front of the podium and just reach around every once in a while and go wop 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 wop.
We used to. We found in one of our friends' houses one time a girl who's a friend, wasn't my girlfriend, but they found a electrically charged dildo, and they turned it on and put it on the coffee table, and she came out of the bathroom, and we're singing and clapping on the table, and that dildo's dancing around in a circle, And you know what? I guess we were all lit because no one was really pretty much hurt by it. But if you are running for office, there's going to be things that come up. I mean, they just dig that up. I mean, I'm going to talk about if you ever got been in a mental institution.
Dude. They'd
What's
have a
that?
field day with me. They'd be pulling strippers out of fucking places
I did a
forgot
wedding.
I even went.
I was maitre-ding a wedding in Philadelphia, and I was talking at the bar to one of the guests, and it was a beautiful bride and groom there, and they look all American couple. And the guy goes, "You know what that guy does for a living?" And I go like, "No, I have no idea." They live in Ben Salem and they make gay porn.
Good for them.
I said, "Is he an actor?" No, he's just a producer. They just make the videotapes and stuff like that. I said, "Well, everyone's got to earn a buck, right?" And stuff like that. And I go, "It's funny." I said, "They got married in a church?" No, it was civil ceremony. I said, "I guess that that would probably be that would be a sticking point." I don't know why the Catholic Church would make that a sticking point, but I'm sorry, family, but it is what it is. And that being said, we have a topic for tomorrow from a listener in Germany. And ironically, his name is Dieter. Remember Dieter from Sprockets? Sprockets.
That was Mike Myers, right?
Yeah, Sprockets. Yeah. Touch the monkey. Touch my monkey. Love my monkey.
I do remember that.
So Dieter, it's a very bizarre topic, and he came out with it, and it was not ironic. So we're going to have to delve in that tomorrow. And tomorrow we're going to have a bunch of guests on. I don't know if we're going to have anything else. Are we going to be doing anything else?
I don't know.
You mentioned something to Luke. I don't know. I didn't want to make a commitment on that. All I did is make a commitment on that. We do have some guys bringing product in tomorrow and stuff like that.
Cool.
I'd like to thank once again the Blackwater Siren. We got friends here. How you doing? They got their happy hour going. Always great deals here. Great view of Blackwater Sound just on the south side of Jewfish Creek Bridge when you're coming into Key Largo. And because technically north of the bridge is Cross Key. And this is Key Largo.
There you go. Down to about mile marker 98, which is technically Rock Harbor.
Yeah, Rock Harbor. But it still has a Key Largo address. Yeah. And I think we're going to be wrapping it up right now, right? Oh, we do? Okay, I thought you were giving me that roll around stuff. No. So tomorrow's episode 100, we have the Keys Undertaker coming in, Tony.
There you go.
I think Jenna will be there from Riva. We're going to have maybe my buddy George, Keith, Craig, Lizzie, Dave, Cynthia. I don't even know who else would possibly be there.
There's going to be a bunch of people.
Oh, the guy from Normal? I know. I gave him 5 minutes to say what he has to say. I know. I'm not going to say what Bill's doing. Can I say?
Yeah.
He's shaking his head. Hey, you know what?
I love Normal. I think it's a great organization.
Yeah. It's the...
but Jesus
It's
Christ.
a national organization for the reform of marijuana laws.
Something like that. And, I mean, it's a fantastic organization. But
I think it's for the reform or repeal.
I'm not sure which.
I mean, but, pretty much the idea of it, because obviously people are doing a lot of damage.
This is kind of my same complaint about the hippies back in the 60s. If you show
back
up...
in the 60s, you and I were babies.
Yes, I know. But, no, just going back and looking at stuff, if you show up and you're actually respectful and... look the part when you walk in, somebody might actually listen to you. If you sit there out front, stone out of your gourd screaming, everybody's going to go, "Hey, look at the nutcase out there."
I used to get along really great with some hippie chicks. I really enjoyed them.
Oh, dude, I love
they were,
the whole idea.
They were weak on the body grooming part and hygiene. But
dude, if I could taste patchouli oil when you walk in the room.
Yeah, that's the way they were. I mean, they did brush your teeth, so that's good and stuff. But they weren't big on the regular hygiene and stuff like that. But there were still some sexy hippie chicks I didn't have a problem with. They were lovely girls. I mean, as there were I was there at the death of disco. I was in the forefront of it. You know that? I was I think I was a collaborator. I was a collaborator.
Yeah.
You were never a collaborator, were you?
No, I was.
Did you ever have? Wait,
I did.
Answer honest question.
I did country and rockabilly.
Do you ever put gel in your hair?
Hmm?
Have you ever put gel in your hair?
No, fuck no.
Not once.
No.
No mousse.
No, dude.
Anything?
Yeah, conditioner.
Okay, conditioner. Okay.
If I don't put conditioner in, I can't.
One of my
fucking
favorite
brush this
comedians said, "I'd like to thank the inventors of hair gel for letting us know." And I use hair gel regularly for some reason. That's just my style. But he said for letting me know, letting us know ahead of time that someone's an asshole. And when something's funny, I find it funny, even when you're making fun of me.
That is pretty fun.
Yeah, it is funny. So, if you can't laugh at yourself, you shouldn't
Can
be
you
laughing
laugh
at
at?
anybody else, right?
That's it.
And now, on the eve of our 100th episode, we're going to be doing a little remembrance. We're going to talk about that one subject with Dieter. We're going to be touching base on all the other things with some of our listeners in the past year. They'll be coming on, and we'll have a couple representatives, some companies. I'd like to thank you for listening tonight to episode 99, Closing Time, and I'm going to hand this over to Bill Wissinger.
There you go. We were a little late on closing time. We were a little late on closing time. We got kind of wrapped up on the whole sex doll thing.
No, I talked about closing time and getting people out.
Time. Yeah,
Well, I mean, it's not going to be the whole show. It's only part
You
of
know
it.
what the problem with fishing shirts are?
What?
You know what the problem with fishing shirts are?
What? Hook, fishing hooks.
Because every once in a while you find that you left a fishing hook in.
Oh, did you hook a nipple?
No, I missed the nipple.
It looks like you. Oh, shit.
I missed the nipple by a little bit. But yeah, every
Listeners,
once in a while
Bill looks like he hooked a nipple.
every once in a while you leave a hook in one of your damn pockets.
See, no, listen, I tell you, I'm an expert fisherman because I always get the fish I want in the quantity I want.
There you go. You go straight to the
I go to the
seafood
fish
market.
house or the fish
There you
market.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah, but every once in a while, and they have multiple pockets, so it's hard to find where you left that hook. But that's far afield as well. Thank you all so much for listening. We do appreciate you. We'll be back tomorrow. What time?
5 o'clock.
5
to 6:30. Expanded episode tomorrow.
5 to 6:30. We're going to go for an hour and a half. Woo!
Woo-wee. We got plenty of material.
We'll have Luke in and a whole cast
we have
of characters.
the Undertaker.
We'll have a good time, and we'll get everybody all set up and having a good time, and we look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Thank you very much, and we appreciate you all listening.